Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Tiernan Center in Richmond as we bring you North Central Conference girls basketball. This is the Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show. I'm Troy Darengowski. The Red Devils looking for their first win of the season. They're hoping it happens today against the Bearcats. The Red Devils at 0-5 overall. They've lost their last 8. Richmond 0-2 in the NCC. Meanwhile, Muncie Central 1-4. They're 0-1 in NCC play. If the Red Devils plan on doing anything in the North Central Conference, they've got to get a win today. We'll scout Muncie Central coming up in just a few moments. This is not the same Muncie Central team we have seen over the last couple of years. Their best player over the last 4 years has graduated. She now plays at the University of Dayton. Neither team has been able to score with any consistency. Something will give here today. When we come back in just a couple of moments on the Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show, we're going to hear from Casey Polans, get his thoughts about where his team is at after blowing a 13-point lead at Logansport and losing to the Berries in the fourth quarter in their last game just a few days ago. That's coming up in just a moment. Stay right there. This is the pregame right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Getting a lucky break rocks, but no one can be lucky all the time. Which is why when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the company that believes great coverage starts with care. A cost-free consultation offered to anyone, Farm Bureau client or not, that allows agents to get to know you better so they can help you prepare better. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shear.
Injured athletes can be evaluated at Reed Orthopedic Center, 1400 Highland Road in Richmond. Request a same-day or next-day appointment to be evaluated by medical professionals who specialize in strains, sprains, fractures, knee and shoulder injuries, concussions, and other sports-related orthopedic issues. Call 935-8905. That's 935-8905. Or request an appointment online at reedortho.org. Reed Orthopedic Center, 1400 Highland Road in Richmond.
Hi, this is Troy Darengowski of Radio Troy Digital Sports. There are plenty of places for me to get lunch or dinner, but there's only one Mancino's. In fact, I was just there for lunch the other day and had a delicious pizza grinder. That's just one of many choices I can get at Mancino's. How about a fresh salad? Several varieties of pasta, Mancino's Lights, or perhaps even an oven-baked spaghetti, or maybe a pepperoni pizza. So when you're looking for a great lunch or dinner, make sure you choose Mancino's, 217 National Road West in Richmond.
Casey, go back to last week, and I know that loss on the road to Logansport was a tough one. You had the lead, and in fact, if I'm not mistaken, you had a double-digit lead in that ball game, let it get away. Those are the kind of games that, and your players know this, you got to win those kind of games on the road.
Yeah, definitely, and it's a process for us. You know, we graduated 2 seniors last year who'd played in a lot of those games, who knew their way around it. This group is still learning those things. None of them have ever had to be the person on a varsity team before. They've been pieces of a varsity team, and so we're still trying to figure some things out. Played really well for 3 quarters, and just when Logansport hit a couple shots, we got a little bit tight, and we tried too hard. I mean, their effort was good. Their attitudes were good. They're trying to do the right things. We're just almost trying too hard instead of letting the game come to us.
How do you find that player, and how do they identify themselves to be that player that the other guys need to look toward, and certainly when you're in that situation that you can count on them in crunch time?
I don't know that we have that player. I think we have 3 or 4 that could do it on any given night, and I think that's what we've got to be geared towards. And our offense is set up that way when we execute it, that the ball is going to find the right person. If we know what we're doing, the ball is going to find the right person. And I don't, in years past, we've had that person. We've had Kim. We've had Mackenzie. We had Destiny. We had people that everybody knew. That could be an advantage for us later on in the year if we do this right and they start to figure it out that coming out of a timeout with 10 seconds left, who are you going to double team? We feel like Braxton could be that person. KK could be that person. Creech could be that person. Kylie could be that person. We have enough people who can do enough different things. We've just got to continue to get better and keep implementing that philosophy and keep, because, again, these kids have never had to do that.
Have you seen now that consistency, or starting to see that consistency between your top 3 or 4 players, where now maybe they're getting to the point where they're all at maybe 10, 11 points per game and maybe feeling more comfortable with what you're doing offensively?
There were spurts of it against Logan. Certainly there were spurts of it against Newcastle, but we haven't seen it consistently yet. And consistency is a key for us. We've got to be mentally disciplined. We've got to be disciplined within our offense. Try to do the right things.
Have they picked up your offensive concept? And because it's a little bit different than something that they're used to and probably something you're used to as well, is that starting to maybe come through for them a little bit?
I think so. It comes down to habits, and it takes 100,000 repetitions of an act to make it a habit. We don't have that many reps in yet. We're building it. It will be there hopefully when it matters. But there's signs of it. There's spurts of it. There's times that they do it. We're just not consistent with it yet.
Defensively, though, you've looked pretty good at times this year, and that's certainly from the games I've watched. It has kept you in ball games. Talk about what certainly from the team standpoint, how they've kind of adapted as well.
They're really starting to understand their slides and anticipating. Offensively and defensively, the key for us is when the ball moves, all five have to move. And if we're a step behind, that's when we get beat. But, yeah, I feel like our defense, Shane's been running that for us this year and done a great job. It's keeping us in games. It's keeping us competitive. We're just not scoring really well. And we're getting good shots. We took 43 shots at Logansport. I think we counted 4 or 5 that we thought were not good shots. And only 1 or 2 of those were actually bad shots. Out of 38, but we only made 16. We've got to score. We were 1 of 4 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter. Defense has kept us in games. Offense has got to start doing its part.
When you guys are able to turn other teams over, is your transition into offense a little smoother? Are you trying to score off that transition? Are you more comfortable setting up in the half court?
We worked this week on trying to kick ahead and taking what people give us. I think we're going to be more of a half-court team this year. I think that's probably where we're better. And that's a little different for me. It's not what I'm used to. But I think that for right now, that's what we're going to be good at, and that's what we need to do to continue to improve. Now, hopefully that light comes on and we start really doing the right things, and then we can really start to change the tempo on teams. And, if you can control tempo, fast or slow, you get to pick, usually the team's going to win.
Braxton with the shoulder, is it better now, and is she able to shoot a little more consistently, or is she still struggling with that?
She's still struggling with it. Her shot's been okay this week in practice. It's something where we're going to kind of limit her minutes a little bit because, again, we weren't able to finish the Logansport game with her last 3 minutes, and you want one of your best players on the floor with 2 or 3 minutes left in a tight ball game. We weren't able to do that. So we're going to try to limit her minutes early. And, hopefully she can be healthy and fresh when the time comes.
You had mentioned to me before we started that practice was actually pretty good this week. Considering you had Thanksgiving holiday, sometimes that's kind of unusual where a team will actually practice pretty good. Your thoughts on this week in practice getting ready for Muncie Central?
Well, I think the week before this was just a bad week. We had a whole lot of stuff happen, most of it out of our control. But just because you can't control it doesn't mean kids don't react to it. And that's something we're trying to teach them. So just getting through that week into this week has been a lot better just because some of those things didn't reoccur. We're a week past some of the stuff that we had to deal with. And so that's been better. We brought in some outside players. I know you used to do the same thing, and it makes a difference. It picked up our level of intensity, and it made us practice better because they want to, they don't want to look foolish in front of people they don't know. So it helped a lot.
Never helped me much, though. Okay, Coach, talk about Muncie Central a little bit. Not the same Muncie Central team we've seen over the last maybe 3 or 4 years because Scaife is no longer there. What is different about them this year?
The talent level is the only thing that's different. They're still super well coached. I mean, she's one of the best coaches in the state of Indiana. She's just awesome. She gets the most out of whatever she's given. And she's proven when she's given a lot, she can do a lot. They're going to execute their stuff. They're going to be athletic. They're going to try really hard to do the right things. They're not as skilled as they've been in the past, but they can make some shots. They've got a lot of athleticism, so if it gets into a transition game, that certainly favors them as well. Mostly a man-to-man defensive team. They'll try to get the ball in the high post against our zone and work it down low and then play inside out and look for threes. Are
you anticipating they're going to press you a lot today?
I don't know that they will. They haven't shown much of it. I think they just play good half-court man-to-man. They certainly have the athletes, too, and she's a good enough coach, given a week to prepare, that she might have put one in. But we're just going to try to focus on doing what we do better than they do what they do.
Coach, good luck today.
Thanks, man.
Once again, Casey Polans, and certainly a team that needs a win right now, and that's Richmond, not just from the standpoint of continuing to try to stay in the race in the NCC, but also just for their psyche before they head to Rushville coming up on Tuesday. When we come back in a couple of moments on the Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show, we'll scout this Muncie Central Bearcat team a little bit more. Just a reminder, Jason Wise of Better Homes and Gardens First Realty Group has an idea for an alternative fundraiser for your school, group, or nonprofit. If you list, buy, or refer a customer and mention this promotion, he will donate 10% of what he makes on the transaction to the school, group, or nonprofit of your choice in your name. Tell your friends, family, and colleagues to mention this offer when listing with Jason Wise at Better Homes and Gardens First Realty Group. You can call him at 969-3400. We'll scout the Bearcats next. This is Richmond Girls Basketball on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Getting a lucky break rocks, but no one can be lucky all the time. Which is why when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the company that believes great coverage starts with care. A cost-free consultation offered to anyone, Farm Bureau client or not, that allows agents to get to know you better so they can help you prepare better. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shear.
When it comes to coverage of high school, college, and professional sports in Richmond and Wayne County, Radio Troy Digital Sports is a game changer. Hi, this is Troy Darengowski. We are now your one-stop website for the best sports coverage in the area. From the Red Devils to the Colts and the Hoosiers, we have you covered. Check out the daily sports page, player and coach interviews, play-by-play of high school and college athletics, and much, much more. Check it out every day on radiotroy.com. Back here at the Tiernan Center here on the Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show. Muncie Central again at 1-4, 0-1 in the NCC, averaging only 29 points per game and giving up 51. Lisa Blaylock is now in her sixth year, 69 wins and 51 losses. They lost their last game out to a very good Newcastle team, 63-23. The only win they've had this year was a 2-point victory. They beat Frankton 45-43. Mentioning averaging 29 points per game, they do average 34 rebounds, 7.5 steals, 7 blocks. That's because of Precious Peak averaging 5.3 blocks per game. Peak is a 5'11 senior and will certainly be a factor here today. They're averaging 22 turnovers, but shooting only 26% on the year, and get this, only 12% from three-point range. Most of their points are going to have to come in the paint here today, and they're not a very good free-throw shooting team either at only 42%. Last year, the Red Devils beat this team 59-51, but they've split their last 10 and even 5-5 on the season. They're led by Aaliyah Barnes at 7 points per game. Marissa Quiros is at 6.5 points per game, and Deshae Johnson is at 5.5 points per game. Right now, the updated standings in the NCC: Harrison, McCutcheon, Anderson, and Tech all at 1-0. Logansport and Marion at 1-1. Kokomo has yet to play a conference game. Muncie Central and Lafayette Jeff both at 0-1, and Richmond is at 0-2. Today, Tech is at Marion, Kokomo at Anderson, Logansport is on the road at Harrison. When we come back, we'll get you the starters, and the tip-off is right around the corner. This is the Farm Bureau Insurance with Kevin Shear pregame show right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
It's game time. The Sportsplex is now open. Get your teams together and come out for basketball, volleyball, soccer, tennis, golf, batting cages, wrestling, and much, much more. The Sportsplex also offers court rentals for your entire team to play a pickup game or to hold practices. Use our turf fields for multiple sports, including flag football, baseball fielding, and rugby. Sportsplex is open 7 days a week. Check out FamilyFitnessWorks.com for more information and current hours, or call 765-935-0111.
There's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some friends and come play live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else can you find this kind of variety along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
It takes a lot of pieces working together to run a successful business in today's world. One big piece is your connectivity, powered by your internet. For local businesses in Richmond, you have options for who provides your internet. When deciding who to go with, you need to look at Parallax Systems, fiber optic packaging for your benefit. Speed, reliability, and local service, you get it all with Parallax Systems, a division of RP&L. Visit online at parallax.ws or call 962-3770. For over 30 years, Reynolds Plumbing has been keeping the Richmond-Wayne County area running. Whether on commercial properties, restaurants, or residential, they've done quality plumbing, heating, and air work for thousands of customers. It's not just about the quality work, it's also about customer service. It's about attention to details and making absolutely sure you are 100% satisfied. If that's the kind of experience you want in your next plumbing or HVAC job, then Reynolds Plumbing has you covered. Give them a call at 966-0994.
Are new cabinets on your wish list? Visit the new Georgia Direct showroom and see the great variety of cabinets on display in a modern setting. Georgia Direct carries quality craft-made one cabinets, and the new showroom has plenty of styles and colors on display. In Richmond, craft-made one is only available at Georgia Direct, where the designers are always on hand to help create a custom kitchen for your home. Visit Georgia Direct's new showroom on 40 East, next to Red Lobster. You'll love what you see, and you'll love the savings at Georgia Direct.
At Richmond Power and Light, we're committed to Richmond. We've been a part of this community for over 114 years. We're not part of some big energy conglomerate, and we don't answer to out-of-town stockholders. Instead, we are accountable to you. And just like you, we want what's best for our hometown. That means you can count on us to provide reliable electricity at low rates. We are Richmond Power and Light, your hometown electric utility, building Richmond a better tomorrow.
Hey Chuck, where you headed? Spinning's about to start.
I'm heading to CrossFit.
Isn't that for like the elite lifters or athletes only?
No, at FFW CrossFit, all workouts can and will be scaled to any ability level to welcome everyone.
Sounds great. I need to get out of the same old workout routine. I'm just not sure I can keep up. It seems pretty intense.
No real lifting experience is needed. FFW CrossFit teaches you everything you need to know and move at your own pace in a positive, motivating environment.
You know, I've always wanted to give it a try. I'll see you there.
Learn more at ffwcrossfit.com.
Some people are born lucky. Other people take luck into their own hands, avoid stepping on sidewalk cracks, and wouldn't dare walk under a ladder. But whether you're born with luck or make your own, when it comes to your insurance coverage, luck should have nothing to do with it. So talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance today or visit them online at infarmbureau.com to purchase an auto policy. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Questions about your coverage in Wayne County? Call 765-962-9548 and ask for me, Kevin Shearer.
Back here at the Tiernan Center, the Bearcats and the Red Devils as we get set for this NCC contest here in just a couple of moments. And I want to remind you, the New Vision Sports Skills Academy will continue every Wednesday through December the 28th. It's on a Wednesday night, as I mentioned, from 5 until 8:30. It's for boys and girls of all ages, and the camp is only $10. They'll work on ball handling, passing, shooting, footwork, and defense. For more information, go to newvisionsports.com. That's New Vision Sports with a Z. Give you a quick check here, Muncie Central. Here's how they'll line up tonight. Dakoita Sloss is a 5'3" sophomore wearing number 3. Precious Peak, a 5'11" senior wearing number 14. Deshae Johnson, a 5'6" freshman, number 22. DeKayla Elliott, a 5'10" sophomore, number 24. And Riley Stafford, a 5'8" sophomore, number 33. Red Devils go like this. Kelsey Mullins is a 5'6" sophomore, number 3. Braxton Hurley, a 5'7" junior wearing number 5. Kylie Wright is a 5'7" senior, number 12. Kayliana Lauderdale is a 5'6" junior, number 13. And Anna Creech, a 5'9" junior, wearing number 42. Red Devils in their home whites. Bearcats in their traveling purple uniforms, and we're ready to get this one underway. Elliott in the middle. Take that back. They're going to go and jump Precious Peak. Peak, the 5'11" senior. And there is a turnover for the Bearcats off the jump ball. So turnover for the Bearcats. It'll be Richmond basketball. And again, keep an eye tonight or this afternoon on Braxton Hurley. As Coach mentioned, they're going to play her about 3 or 4 minutes and then bring her out and just try to pace her here this afternoon, knowing that that shoulder can be a little bit of an issue here this afternoon. So the Red Devils with the basketball for the first time. Here's Creech, baseline drive, double team, ball on the baseline, and it'll be saved by the Bearcats. So Richmond defensively back the other way and didn't get back in time. And the bucket good by Deshae Johnson, and an immediate timeout for Casey Polans and the Red Devils, as he is not happy with his team's defense. We'll take a timeout as well. 7:29 remaining in the opening period. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Red Devils trail this one 2-0. This is Richmond girls basketball in Radio Troy Digital Sports. There is one thing for sure in my life. I know nothing about fixing cars. That's why I take my vehicles to Beach Automotive at 110 East Main in Richmond. Their experts have the knowledge to service and repair even the most challenging auto problems. So if you have an automotive question, they have the answers at Beach Automotive, 110 East Main in Richmond. Or give them a call at 765-966-8181 or visit their website, beach-auto.com. Off the timeout, Braxton Hurley missing the layup. We have a jump ball as Creech battling inside with DeKayla Elliott. And the Red Devils will commit their first turnover as they lose the possession arrow, but will keep the basketball. Here is Hurley. Lauderdale on the drive, the feed to Creech. Turnover number 2 now on Richmond. Here's Sloss across the timeline. Bearcats set up in their half court and decide to throw it into the backcourt. That is their second turnover. 2 unforced errors already for the Bearcats, and head coach Lisa Blaylock can't be happy with her basketball team here at the beginning of this one. That is Hurley on the drive, can't get the shot to fall, and it will be Bearcat basketball. Red Devils cold early. Peak averaging 5.3 blocks per game. They just can't even get into the half court. Third turnover now by Muncie Central. And the Red Devils continue to lead this one here in the opening period of play. 2-0. Bearcats on top. Wright will feed Creech down the lane. Another missed shot. Red Devils stay cold. Here's Elliott back the other way now for the Bearcats. 6:35 to go. That'll be a travel. Good call as Sloss will take that extra step. And I have a feeling I better leave some room here on my score sheet for a lot of turnovers here this afternoon. Here's Mullins on the drive now for Richmond, and that'll be a hand-checking foul on Sloss. And that will be her first. Well, we have seen 4 turnovers by Muncie Central, 2 turnovers by Richmond, and just 2 points between the two teams. Right on the wing. And then a turnover as that pass intended for Hurley. Third turnover by Richmond. Baseline shot no good as Elliott will be fouled off the rebound. I think they're going to get Lauderdale on the foul. Boy, Richmond early on not looking very good out of the gate. And we will have a change here as Elliott. They're going to send her to the bench. I think she may have something in her hair that they will not allow. So there was something with the headband that wasn't allowed. And so here's a change now for the Red Devils. Kiera Wright will come in. She wears number 34. Wright has seen more playing time recently. And the free throw shooter, though, is going to be Marissa Quiros. Quiros is a 5'11 freshman, so because of the equipment problem, Quiros shooting the free throw. Second free throw is no good, so Quiros 0 for 2. And there is a steal on the pass by Johnson, and the Red Devils with their 4th turnover here in the opening period of play. Muncie back into the half court. 5:58 to go. Three-point shot is on the way, missed as Peak can't get it to go. Ball loose on the floor, picked up by Sloss. Jumper missed, and that'll be a rebounding foul as they'll get Riley Stafford. Stafford will pick up her first. And we stay at 2-0. Red Devils have made another change as they will now bring into the ball game Heaven Stevens, a 5'6" junior. Turnover again, back the other way. Layup is no good by Sloss, but nobody back for Richmond until Wright able to get it, and then she turns it over. Sixth turnover of the ball game. Bucket good by Deshae Johnson. She now has 4. And the Red Devils now with 6 turnovers here in the opening period of play. It has not been a pretty quarter for the Red Devils, and we have an offensive foul call against Anna Creech, as Creech will pick up her first, and we've got a whole new 4 players coming in now, 5 for head coach Casey Polans. He is not happy with the 5 players on the floor. Here's your change, and he's going to give, I'm sure, a pretty good tongue lashing to those players. 7 turnovers. Braxton Hurley has come back into the Red Devil lineup. Also coming in for the Red Devils will be Zoe Woolridge. Woolridge played a lot on the JV earlier today. Shot in the lane, good. That'll be DeKayla Elliott. Elliott with her first 2, and the Red Devils trail this one 6-0. Right back outside as the Red Devils work it in the ball game is Richards checking in for the Red Devils. Right with the left hand, nothing there. Another bad pass and another Richmond turnover. That's number 8. Give the steal to Sloss. Richmond still looking to score here this afternoon, and the Bearcats decide, hey, we'll give it back the other way, and that'll be a foul on the shot as Precious Peak going for the block. And Hurley, by the way, with that sore shoulder at the free throw line, and now she's favoring that shoulder as she's working on it at the line, and that was not good news if you're the Red Devils. That is, again, her shooting shoulder as the free throw's on the way, no good. Red Devils remain scoreless here in the opening period of play as Hurley back in for number 2. Second free throw's up and good, so the Red Devils finally get on the board almost halfway through the quarter. 6-1, Bearcats on top in the basketball. There's a walk, no call as Elliott starts to drive, loses the handle. Now gives it up to Johnson. Peak with the basketball, the 5'11 senior out front. They'll work the weave. This will be Sloss. Red Devils defensively covering up out front. Turnover number 6 as Braxton Hurley missed the layup at the other end. So Hurley coming up short again, and it may have been the shoulder down the lane. Shot no good by Sloss. Ball loose and goes out of bounds. Last touched by Precious Peak. Red Devils make a change. Here is Mullins coming back in. Hurley will sit down. And I think they're going to check out that shoulder once again as Hurley missed that layup badly. Richards on the drive, shot in the lane, good. So Richards able to get 2 points on the board. And the Red Devils now trail at 6-3. As bad as Richmond has played here in this opening period of play, they're still only down by 3. Shots no good by Sloss. Offensive rebound, put back, count it. Kiro's there with the putback, and the Red Devils trail at 8-3. On the drive and the stop there by Madison Hurlin, who's checked in, and the layup good by Wright. As Kyla Wright will get her first 2 points of the ball game, and the Red Devils now trail at 8-5. 3 minutes remaining of the opening period. Red Devils stay in the zone. Mullins out on top of that zone. Bearcats have worked pretty much to the outside Nothing inside so far. Here's a drive and a feed and a whistle and a foul. They may get Richards on the drive, and that'll be Elliott off the pass, but it will be on the floor. Kristen Richards is a 5'6" senior picking up the foul, I do believe. And Lauderdale coming back in, Creech coming back in. Woolridge will sit down, and also sitting down will be Herlin for the Red Devils. Bearcats off the inbound, turn it over right with the steal. 7th turnover by Muncie Central, and then Richmond will give it right back with their 9th turnover. And again, the Bearcats off the inbound. And another bad pass and a steal by Wright and a foul called. And they will get DeKayla Elliott picking up her first. 2:37 remaining here in this opening period of play. Richards with the skip pass Lauderdale. Lauderdale driving baseline. And here's a wide open shot by Wright. No good. Creech with the offensive rebound. Creech will get it back outside. Lauderdale for 3. Good. And the Red Devils needed that one. Lauderdale with her first 3. And Richmond has come back to tie this ball game at 8 apiece. 2 minutes remaining in the opening period of play. Baseline drive by Johnson. Ball loose. Goes out of bounds. It'll stay Bearcat basketball. Hurley coming back in for Richmond. And Richards will sit down. Richmond getting a lift off of Kristen Richards. Bearcats off the inbound. Lauderdale going for the steal. Ball is loose in the backcourt, and the Red Devils will turn it over again as both teams with turnovers on that possession. 9 now for Muncie Central, 10 for Richmond. 1:55 remaining. And back in for the Bearcats will be Dakoita Sloss. Deshae Johnson will sit down. Needless to say, it has been a very sloppy opening period of play. There's a travel and no whistle there as Elliott switched her pivot feed. Didn't matter. She turned it over anyway. 10 turnovers now for the Bearcats. Lauderdale in the corner for 3. Gets another one. Lauderdale, 2 straight threes, and the Red Devils have battled back. Timeout on the floor on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Richmond 11, Muncie Central 8. This is Richmond girls basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
The dealership where I bought my car told me I needed new tires. So, of course, I stopped by Best One and asked Roger to take a look. So they checked it out, and he told me not yet. He said I was good for at least another 10,000 miles. I've always gotten an honest opinion at Best One, and so will you.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark at Best One Tire and Service. We'll only sell you tires when you need new tires, and they'll be the right tires for your car or truck. I guarantee it.
Best One Tire and Service, North 7th and A, Uptown Richmond.
Well, this thing has not been pretty, but Richmond has battled back to take an 11-8 lead. Richmond with 10 turnovers, Muncie Central with 10 turnovers here in the opening period. Richmond being scouted today by Rushville, a team they will see on Tuesday. Then the Red Devils play Union City coming up next Saturday. Back to the half court. Once again, Peak with the basketball. Boy, Muncie very sloppy with her passing. Here's Sloss. Will bounce now to Elliott. Elliott looks inside, and it's a giving time of year. They've just turned it over the 11th time. Hurley runs down the basketball in the corner, back out to Wright for 3, missed it. Long rebound by Kires, and we head the other way. Here's Sloss across the timeline. And again, it'll be Elliott. Skip pass, stolen away by Wright. Wright the other way with a left hand, blocked shot. And Peak with a block, averaging 5.3 blocks per game. Here is Hurley for 3, way off the mark. 2 Richmond players run into one another, and we head the other way. Bearcats have a 2-man advantage as Wright slow to get up. Kira's inside, and they'll say, nope, she traveled with it first. Pretty good collision between Creech and Wright at the other end. Back in for the Red Devils will be Kiera Wright, the 5'6" sophomore. And it will be Red Devil basketball. Wide open underneath is Wright, and she will be fouled. So Kiera Wright for the Red Devils, again wearing number 34, will step to the free throw line. And it'll be a two-shot foul. Foul's going to be called on Deshae Johnson. Johnson picking up her first. And Kiera at the line hits the first of two. 31.6 seconds remaining here in the opening period of play. Both free throws good. So Richmond able to survive the early turnover issue. And now have a 5-point lead. That ball tipped into the backcourt. Sloss will drive down the lane. Got hammered out front by Braxton Hurley. Hurley giving her that soccer shimmy as she went down the line. 17.7 seconds remaining for Hurley, her first. That'll be team foul number 4 on Richmond. Off the inbound, jumper on the way, good. That'll be 2-point bucket by Precious Peak. She gets her first two, 13-10, 9 seconds to go. See if the Red Devils play for the final shot right here. Creech with the spin move, nice move, right hand layup, good. Boy, much better finish for the Red Devils than it was the start. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Richmond 15, Muncie Central 10. This is Richmond Girls Basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Maybe you knew that Indiana University East has world-renowned professors and 50 highly respected IU degree programs. Still, there's someone you should meet. He's a red wolf. He's Rufus, our mascot. He's here for our intercollegiate sports, dozens of student clubs, and to make sure things aren't too, well, tame. Check us out at iue.edu or drop by. But be careful. No leash. IU, focused on you.
By the way, one change on the score. The Precious Peak bucket, they must have called a 3, so it is actually 15-11. Today's game brought to you in part by Square Donuts of Richmond. Whether it's a delicious breakfast, afternoon treat, or a midnight snack, everyone loves the taste of Square Donuts of Richmond. Enjoy their huge cinnamon rolls or any of the other crowd favorites, including maple bacon, strawberry cheesecake, Oreo cream, pumpkin spice, and many, many more. And, of course, you can grab their award-winning glazed donuts, voted #1 in the entire state. Proud to be your favorite donut shop and home to the best donuts in town and the only squares around, Square Donuts of Richmond. 15-11 after 1. As we said, the Precious Peak bucket must have been a 3. So it will be Bearcat basketball. See the Red Devils, you see them lining up in that zone. It's kind of confusing to opposing teams. They put one player. Right now, Heaven Stevens in that circle, and then they'll move from there. A lot of teams don't recognize that very early. Another travel by Elliott, no whistle. Skip pass to Sloss. Sloss will drive. The feed now to Peak for 3. Left it short. Rebound battled for, and losing her glasses will be Marissa Kiras. And so they will stop play. Riley Stafford will come back in, only a sophomore. This is a relatively young Muncie Central squad. A lot of freshmen and sophomores on the varsity roster. Off the inbound, here's Sloss from 15, good. Sloss with her first two, and the Red Devils lead at 15-13. Creech can hit that shot from the outside. We'll give it off now to Stevens. Stevens will drive, off-balance jumper, no good in the lane. Rebounded by Wright. Back to Stevens. Baseline shot from the left, no good. And the rebound by Sloss, and here come the Bearcats. 2-point lead for Richmond. Keep an eye on Peak out front. They've used her a lot at the top of that offense. Skip pass will find Sloss. She'll drive, and a foul will be called. And I think they got Lauderdale for number 2. Casey may have a decision to make here whether to keep Lauderdale in the ball game. with those 2 fouls. Here is Dakoita Sloss, and the free throw is good. She now has 3. Back to a 1-point ball game. Second free throw is no good. Lauderdale with the rebound for the Red Devils. So 1 of 2 for Sloss, and the Red Devils turn it over. Turnover number 11. The Bearcats also feeling like Santa Claus decide to give it back. They've turned it over for the 14th. Have you seen so much giving in one game? If we all just learned how to give like this, what a better world it would be. Here is Richmond back the other way. Nice pass from Hurley inside to Creech. Can't get the shot to fall, and it goes out of bounds, and I believe we have a Bearcat foul. That was a heck of a pass that time by Hurley. Yeah, and also Creech tried to throw it to herself. Yeah. 6:48 to go. And back in the ball game will be Kiros once again for Muncie Central. Off the inbound, Richmond with a turnover. That'll be number 12 now for the Red Devils. Sloss, 15 feet away, straight away, missed it. Rebound battled for inside. Johnson gets tied up by Creech. And Muncie Central will lose the possession arrow. That'll be their 15th turnover. Red Devils will bring Kelsey Mullins in. And also back into the lineup for Richmond will be Kiara Wright. That'll put Heaven Stevens on the bench along with Kyla Wright. And here's Mullins. Creech on the drive. Pull up short, left it short. Might have been partially blocked by Precious Peak. Another block by the 5'11 senior. 15-14. Entry pass knocked away, and another turnover by the Bearcats. That is number 16. Here's Mullins. Mullins driving, scoring. Went right at the big in Precious Peak. Mullins gets her first 2, and the Red Devils lead at 17-14. Bearcat basketball. Johnson. Now to Sloss. Back out front once again to Johnson. Pass intended for Kiros inside will go out of bounds. It will remain Bearcat basketball at 5:51 remaining here in this second quarter of play. Well, we told you we didn't think this was going to be a high-scoring game, and so far that has been the case. Here is the three-point attempt by Peak, way off the mark. Red Devils bring Kyla Wright back into the lineup. And again, Hurley getting a couple of minutes in and a couple of minutes out. Mullins back at the point now for Richmond. Mullins at the circle, gives it out to Creech for 3. Had a good look at it, misses as Kiros there for the rebound. And Bearcats basketball down by 3. 17-14, 5:23 to go. Here in period number 2, Johnson swings it right side to Elliott. Skip pass to Sloss. Sloss on the drive. Here's Johnson once again. They cannot find much of an opening against that zone defense. It really looks more like a 1-2-2, but the Red Devils do a nice job making it look a lot like a matchup zone. Sloss starts to penetrate, nearly lost it under the 5-minute mark remaining here in the second quarter. Skip pass. Drive by Johnson, left wide open, missed the bunny. Long rebound, Sloss. Red Devils don't get to it. Jumper by Sloss is no good. And save from going out of bounds by Johnson, no. It will be Richmond basketball. Brad Wright, the assistant coach, JV coach for the Richmond boys, letting Kyla and the rest of the Red Devils know he was not happy with that effort. Red Devils make some wholesale changes again. Hurley back in. Looks like Richards has come back into the Red Devil lineup. Heaven Stevens with the basketball. Now terminates the dribble. Will find Hurley. Hurley back to Johnson. Take that back. That's actually going to be Richards. Here's the drive by Kyler Wright. Has it blocked again by Peak. And I believe that's the third block of the ball game now for Precious Peak. You know, if she had her middle name Pikes, they could call her Precious Pikes Peak. There's a mountain out in Colorado called Pikes Peak. Throw inside, turnover Richmond. Wright was looking for Hurley. 13th turnover now by the Red Devils. Here's Sloss. Here's Peak at the elbow. Lobbing inside, and Kyler Wright almost got a hand on it and stole it away. Peak again at the top. Here's Johnson. 3:48 to go, and a cross-court pass stolen away. Turnover number 17 by the Bearcats. Richmond will give it right back. That's their 14th. Sloss down the lane. Feeds off bucket, good by Quiros. She now has 4. And we have a delay, a game warning, I believe, on Quiros. Lauderdale coming back in. And Kiara Wright coming out of the Red Devil lineup. 17-16. A barn burner here in the first half. Again, both teams really struggle on the offensive side. Here is Kyler Wright off the glass. It's a three-pointer. 5 points now by Kyler Wright. And the Red Devils now lead it by 4. Sloss across the 10-second line. We'll give it up now to Johnson. Johnson holds on. The ball was tipped by Heaven Stevens, so no turnover. Bearcats, here's a three-pointer. That's off the mark by Precious Peak, and it goes out of bounds. Peak in love with that three-pointer here in the first half, and I'm not too sure, but looking at the reaction of Lisa Blaylock, the head coach, wasn't really happy with that shot selection. Richards at the elbow. Kyler Wright again, another three. Tried to bank it, couldn't get it to go. Rebound by Richmond. Richards, the kick out, and that'll be Lauderdale. Heaven Stevens will shoot the three. Left that one away short. Sloss coming out for the Bearcats. Down in numbers, will take it herself. Missed the shot, but a blocking foul will be called on Heaven Stevens. And that'll be Stevens' first. 2:33 remaining. And Sloss at the line. This is her third and fourth trips to the free throw line. Will now go 2 of 3. And it is back down to a 3-point lead. Second free throw, no good. Lauderdale out on the run. Lauderdale is going to take it herself, drive and score. Coast to coast for Lauderdale. She has 8. And is back to a 5-point lead for Richmond. Stripped away, another turnover Bearcats. Here is Hurley with the fake pass. Got the defender Peak to commit. And Peak will pick up her second. So this will put Hurley at the line. Hurley, for 2 shots, has 1 point here in the first half. 2:13 remaining. And the free throw's good. Shoulder didn't look like it bothered her too much there. Creech in. Mullins in for Richmond. Bearcats make a change. They will bring now Kelby Stallings in. Stallings, a 5'7" junior, and we've got a timeout on the floor. 2:13 remaining first half. Richmond 23, Muncie Central 17. On the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, this is Richmond girls basketball on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Hello, my name is Kyle Schwarzkopf. I'm the manager of Kyle's National Road Auto, in business in Richmond since 1979. We employ ASE certified technicians, and we have over 80 years of experience. We work on all domestics and most European and Japanese cars. Give us a call at 966-1555. Kyle's National Road Auto Service. My name is Kyle Schwarzkopf, and I approve this message.
Today's game brought to you in part by our Richmond area Subways. And each day of the week, you can get a different 6-inch sub with no artificial flavors or colors for just $3.50. And being Saturday, the Black Forest ham, tomorrow the meatball marinara. Treat yourself at Subway. 4 locations in Richmond and Hagerstown. Subway, eat fresh. And, of course, we'll be naming the Subway Sub of the Game later and the Wesley Bates Wealth Management Player of the Game later as well. Richmond leading at 23-17 following the timeout. And Braxton Hurley back at the line. 2 of 3 from the free throw line. And we'll step back in for one more. Again, 2:13 remaining before halftime, and the second free throw is good. Hurley now with 3. Bearcats will put Deshae Johnson now at the point. Out on the high post, they had for a moment Stafford, and they just don't have much action down in that low post, so they don't get a whole lot of movement there, and that's why their offense is stagnant. Here's Sloss. Entry pass by Stafford, stolen away. 19 turnovers by the Bearcats. Wright thought about it, kicks it back now to Creech. Creech will find Hurley. Hurley on the drive, back to Creech. Short jumper, good. Creech now with 4. 26-17, now your biggest lead of the ball game by either of these two teams. And we're down to minute 23. Here's Johnson for 3. Missed it. They're settling for the shot from the outside. Quick outlet pass. Lauderdale from right. Lauderdale drives and scores. Lauderdale now with 10, and the Red Devils have opened up an 11-point lead. And we're down to our final 60 seconds remaining. Here's Sloss inside. Kirez will score and will be fouled by Kyla Wright. Boy, and the Bearcats needed that. Kyla will pick up her first. And Kiros will go to the line for the first time today. I actually take that back. She was there earlier, went 0 for 2. But again, 6 points off the bench for the 5'11 freshman. Stevens back in for Richmond. Wright will sit down. Lauderdale will take that low post area. Boys basketball later tonight. The Red Devils here against Jay County. We'll be on the air at around 7. Free throw no good. Kiros is now 0 for 3 from the line, but again, just a freshman. Mullins going coast to coast. Mullins drives and scores. How about Mullins? Wasted no time. The Red Devils getting it out and going. Mullins now with 4, and we've got a timeout for the Bearcats. 44 seconds remaining on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Richmond 30. Muncie Central 19. This is Richmond Girls Basketball on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
You've got too much stuff in your house or in your business and nowhere to put it all. What do? Here's the answer. Quaker City Storage in Richmond. Quaker City Storage offers various size units for either short-term or long-term storage. You'll get the best rates in town, and you always have 24-hour lighted access to your stuff. Quaker City Storage on Industrial Parkway next to A House Tool. Quaker City Storage is a proud supporter of all Richmond High School athletics.
It was 15-11 after 1. It is now 30-19. The Red Devils have outscored the Bearcats 15-8 in the quarter. And it's been a lot of it just get it and go, and that's what the style of basketball that Casey Polans likes to play. He wants to get up and down the floor. It certainly hasn't been as much this year as he would like it to be. Bearcats back to their half court, and there's a good deflection. In fact, that last touched by Deshae Johnson of Muncie Central. That is now their 20th turnover here in the first half. If they finish out this way, they'll have more turnovers than points. Richmond will probably play for 1. Creech at the elbow will find Hurley. Creech posting down low, and boy, that's just a bad turnover right there by Richmond. You have the basketball with 24 seconds. You can't turn that over. And I think that Hurley's really not doing well at all. Yeah, she threw that pass, and as soon as she threw it, that shoulder's just, it may not be 100%. She may have to start looking seriously at getting that thing fixed before next year. 14 seconds on the clock. Bearcats basketball. Elliott feeds inside. Here, Stafford no good. Rebound for the Red Devils. Richards able to get it out of there. 4 seconds on the clock. Here's Mullins. Mullins with 1 second, and did they get the shot off in time? It would not have counted even if it would have gone, but we have made it to halftime. And on your Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, Richmond 30, Muncie Central 19. We'll come back with the Wesley Bates Wealth Management halftime report in just a moment. This is Richmond Girls Basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Did you know Richmond High School offers 15 advanced placement courses through a partnership with the University of Notre Dame? Did you know Richmond High School had the first high school orchestra in the United States? And did you know Richmond High School is home to a national championship team in the Business Professionals of America? Richmond Community Schools. We are your choice for a quality education. Go to wearerichmond.com.
Summit Computers in Richmond is a full-service computer manufacturing and support company founded in 1997. They partner with businesses and individuals to provide computer systems, hardware, service, support, and design services. They also provide web hosting, high-speed wireless internet, network design, and much, much more. Summit Computers, the official provider of RadioTroy.com. Are you looking for a quality used car you can trust to take you where you want to go? Stop at Tony's Car Sales at 250 National Road West. Tony's has a top-of-the-line selection of low-mileage, one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, all handpicked by Mike and Adrian Parker. Tony's is family-owned with 3 generations and 60 years of experience. Check out their selection at Tony'sCarsales.com or at 250 National Road West. Tony's Car Sales, where honesty, quality, and price sell cars.
As president of the Richmond Education Association, it is my honor and pleasure to nominate Whitney Shurow as the REA Teacher of the Month for November, not only for her work with her students at CYS, but also for the work that she does with her colleagues. Congratulations, Whitney.
Whitney is one of the most organized teachers I have ever worked with. She has a true gift of working with alternative ed students, and she has a gift of teaching alternative ed students. We have a CYS student and a Richmond High School student that is a participant on the bowling team, and she and another student, Mrs. Gully, went to the bowling alley last weekend and supported that student. IU East every year promotes a book, and the book is called A Chance in the World by Steve Pemberton. So Whitney's classes have been reading this book here at CYS, and she even arranged for a book signing because he was in Richmond for this big event. And so she was instrumental in arranging for 6 of our students to go out there and have their books signed.
My day begins at 7:15, and we have students that come off the bus and they eat breakfast, and then we all come to class at 7:30. And from 7:30 to 9:30, I teach 2 English classes, 2 different sets of high school groups. And then third period, we go to the computer lab and we do grad point. Kids are trying to recover some credits. And then in the afternoon, after lunch, the students that reside from Warnley come in, and I do 3 separate English classes.
She has taken a leadership role in our building as far as Canvas is concerned, and she has led a voluntary professional development meeting in which 100% of our teachers were here.
Well, it's a learning management system. I can't really tell you why I jumped into it. It was just one day I thought, let's bring some more technology in the classroom. Got some iPads out, and we started really simply, and the kids are so good and so receptive about learning new concepts, which helps me. We are now using it daily. And I'm able to, today, this week actually, they're actually submitting their essays in Canvas, and I'm getting their essay submission. So we went away from writing essays with a pencil and paper this week, and they've done really well with it. Instantly, I'm getting assignments. I went from having the kids turn their papers into the tray, that lays on the corner of your desk, and now I don't have to do that anymore. And any extra minute I have, I can look at their submitted work through SpeedGrader, grade it, and it's instantly going into their Power School along with my Power School grade book, which is giving them instant feedback. And the nice piece about it has been it gives them the opportunity to respond to the grade that I've given them, like the amount of points. Some of my more quiet and reserved students never come up and say, hey, why did I get this grade? And those students in Canvas are now writing back. I'd like to talk about why I got 18 out of 20. And we're having that dialogue that we never had before because they don't have to share in front of everybody. They know it's just between the student and myself. And their scores are improving greatly. And I tell them, you're just advocating for yourself. Come to me and say that, but now they're doing it through technology. And that's been the biggest learning tool for me. Just another way that we can reach students.
There are banks that are big, and then there's West End Bank, a bank with big ideas to help people, business, and industry. If you're just starting out on your own and want a new car, West End can help. Maybe it's your first home and you need advice on financing. West End Bank has ideas to help you. West End Bank, helping build better lives and a better community. West End Bank is a community bank with big ideas and home to a distinctive style of banking. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The last time I was in for service at Best One, I let Roger know my brakes were squeaking. So they checked them out, and Roger told me it was just a little moisture. Not to worry, everything was fine. Well, that was just the reassurance I needed. I trust the team at Best One, just like I trust my own dad.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark. At Best One Tire and Service, we only fix what needs to be fixed. When your car or truck leaves our shop, the service you request will be done right. I guarantee it.
Best One Tire and Service, North 7th and A, Uptown Richmond.
Maybe you haven't heard, but there's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some of your friends and try out a game of live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else are you going to find this kind of variety, along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
There's only one place to go on the World Wide Web to find the best automotive deals. Wetzelauto.com. One of the area's largest inventories all in one spot. Wetzelauto.com. Here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wetzelauto.com. New and used vehicles, service, parts, body shop, and rental. Plus, value your trade. It's easy to navigate. It's convenient. Wetzelauto.com. It's clickin' awesome.
We're back here at the Tiernan Center. It is halftime. Red Devils on top by 11, 30-19. Today's game brought to you in part by Harrington Hoke Insurance. At Harrington Hoke Insurance, they spend every day working to make this community better, safer, and more enjoyable because their focus is on insurance, and that's it. They're on top of industry changes, and they are a one-stop shop for all your insurance needs, whether it's business, personal, life, or health. That's why when it comes to protecting you and what's important to you, Harrington Hoke insures it. Give them a call at 962-9502 or go to their website, harringtonhoke.com, to request a quote. Here's your halftime scoring. First off for Muncie Central, they were led by Marissa Quiros with 6, 4 by Deshae Johnson, 4 by Dakoita Sloss, 3 by Precious Peak, and 2 by DeKayla Elliott. But they turned the ball over 20 times in that first half. They were outscored in the turnover department 20-19. Red Devils had one player in double figures. That was Kayleana Lauderdale with 10. 4 points, so take that back, 5 points by Kyla Wright, 4 points by Mullins, 4 points by Creech, 3 by Hurley, and 2 points by Kristen Richards in the first half. When we come back, second half is coming up. This is Richmond girls basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Did you know Richmond Schools offers an instrumental music program in grades 5 through 12? Did you know Richmond Schools offer classes in Chinese, French, and Spanish? And did you know Richmond offers a full slate of intermediate school athletic programs such as golf, swimming, volleyball, football, basketball, and baseball? Richmond Community Schools. We are your choice for a quality education. Go to wearerichmond.com.
There's only one place to go on the web to find the best automotive deals. Wetzelauto.com. New and used vehicles, service, parts, body shop, and rental. It's easy, it's convenient. Wetzelauto.com. It's clicking awesome.
Well, here we go. Second half action. The Red Devils, by the way, did not mention, have turned the ball over 15 times in the first half. It will be Bearcat basketball open things up here in the third. So Richmond, in the one area they'll have to improve on is that turnover department. But again, a lot of those turnovers came early. Boy, the Bearcats immediately turn it over here in the second half, and the foul's going to be called on Deshae Johnson, and that'll be her second. So things no better for the Bearcats coming right out of the timeout. Richmond basketball. Here's Creech for three. Can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound. Johnson comes out with it for the Bearcats. Not a bad look by Creech. And we have a whistle and stoppage of play. I think more than 10 seconds has run off the clock since we started this third quarter. But apparently, yep, they're going to put it to 7:39. That's a little bit better. Red Devils defense playing much better here in this from at least the second quarter on. And there's another turnover by the Bearcats. Here come the Red Devils once again. Lauderdale on the drive. The feed inside to Creech. Bucket is good, and Lauderdale gets the assist. And Creech now with 6 points. Back the other way. Shot no good. As coming up short was Elliott. And the ball goes out of bounds. By the way, Creech now with 6 points. That was a pretty pass, and Creech able to finish. If Creech, by the way, will work on her game of basketball, she'll be pretty good by next year. Good outside shot, good presence around the basket. But that'll be a huge key. 7:02 to go. Turnover, Bearcats. First three possessions, they've turned it over all 3 times here in the second half, now with 23 turnovers. Red Devils will inbound. Once again, Mullins. Boy, she's a pretty good point guard for the Red Devils. There's a drive by Stevens, and that'll be a turnover by Richmond. Red Devils now with 16 turnovers. And the Bearcats get it back. 32-19, Richmond on top. Lauderdale guarding outside against Johnson. Johnson will find Sloss between the circles and will now work it right to Elliott. Elliott losing the basketball, and we've got a jump ball on the sidelines, and it will go to Richmond. Another turnover for the Bearcats. That'll be 24. Boy, they are really struggling against the Red Devils. Mullins back at the point. Mullins will drive and throws it up and gets it to go. Mullins now with 6. And I'm not sure how she did it, but she got it up above the defender and able to get it off the glass. 34-19. Bearcats at the high post. Creech in to tie up. That was Stafford. Bearcats will lose the possession arrow. That means another turnover. Quiros will come in now for Muncie Central. Kiara Wright will come in for the Red Devils, the sophomore. Boy, that You look at the early part of this game, about the first 3 or 4 minutes, earlier Richmond was ugly, but they've been pretty good since then. At least a lot better than Muncie Central, though some turnovers. Shot missed, second shot missed as Johnson off the miss by Sloss, and we have a reaching foul called. And looks like they will get Kiara Wright on the foul. That's her first. Richmond right now holding on to their biggest lead of the ball game. Bearcats off the inbound. Johnson will find Sloss 15 feet away. Missed it hard off the back of the iron. Rebound Mullins. And Mullins will turn it over in the sideline. She got a little bit ahead of herself and will turn the ball over. The Red Devils now with 17 turnovers. Bearcat basketball. They have not found any consistency offensively as Sloss will miss that one in the lane. Here is Lauderdale. Lauderdale back the other way, drives and scores. Lauderdale, nice touch. She now has 12. And the Red Devils now putting it to the Bearcats here in the third quarter. Bearcats settling for everything from the outside. The miss, the putback good as Johnson followed her shot. Johnson, just a freshman, got the offensive rebound, put it back 36-21. A little give and go attempt as the ball out front. Creech able to get it away from the defender, and Creech will be fouled. And that'll go against Quiros. For Quiros, that should be her first. Red Devils make a change. Richards is ready to come back in. Also coming in for the Red Devils will be Kyla Wright. So again, Quiros picks up the foul. Richards off the inbound and can't get it to go. Battle for the loose basketball, and a foul will be called, and they will get Wright once again. This is Kiara Wright. The thing about that, you'll learn eventually. I know Kiara only a sophomore. You don't need to foul that far away from your own basket. There's no need to. They're not going anywhere with it. I know you're trying to get the rebound, but don't reach if you don't have to. And Richards will be guilty of the foul underneath. Quiros will go to the line. Quiros is, 0 for 3 from the free throw line. And will be there for 2. And banks that one in. By the way, Richards picked up her second. 36-22. Second free throw is no good. And coming out with it, Kyla Wright for the Red Devils. Mullins will try to shovel that pass for Lauderdale. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson. Coming to the ball game for the Bearcats, this will be Elliott, I believe, coming back in. Elliott with 2 points. Richmond up by 14. Bearcats continue again to struggle offensively. Nice pass intended for Kiara Wright. A little bit too low, goes out of bounds. And the Red Devils turn it over now for the 18th time here this afternoon. By the way, we have not seen Braxton Hurley back in for Richmond. She has been out since that pass that went errant, and she held her shoulder and came out of the ball game. Nice drive, layup, good by Sloss. Sloss with 6. Here's Mullins once again for the Red Devils. Mullins quickly pushing the tempo. Ball is going to be loose, and turnover Richmond. Maybe a little bit too much for the Red Devils. Richmond up by 12, Bearcat basketball. Sloss top of the key. Here's Precious Peak. She will shoot it from there. We've seen that earlier. That jumper is good from the right wing by Elliott. Elliott now with 4, and the Red Devil lead down to 10. Richmond basketball. Here's Wright. Wright will be fouled, and that's a pretty easy call right there against Elliott. Elliott will pick up her second. Red Devils will bring Creech back in. Stevens coming back in. 3:51 remaining here in period number 3. Lauderdale inside, can't get a handle on it. Red Devils turn it over now for the 20th time. And the Bearcats lost down the lane, feeds it off to Quiros, lost it out of bounds. Not a bad pass. Quiros wasn't ready for it. And we have another turnover fest here at about halfway through the quarter. Creech with the pull-up jumper, short. Rebound right, put back Stevens. Off the front of the glass and good. Stevens with her first 2 points. And the Red Devils got it back to 12. Sloss, baseline drive, feeds to Quiros, and Quiros again will be fouled. Foul's going to be on Heaven Stevens. She just picked up her second. We will see Mullins quickly come back into the ball game as Richmond will get a ball handler in their lineup. Here's Quiros. Quiros so far today only 1 of 5 from the line. Now make it 2 of 6. Quiros now with 8, and again, she's just a freshman, 5'11". Second free throw, no good, and the rebound by Richards. Here's Wright for the Red Devils. Creech, nice drive, can't finish it. And Quiros with a rebound for the Bearcats. But that's something that you look at Creech, only 5'9", will have to learn how to finish those inside against much bigger players. Here is the 3 by Peak, no good, and a rebounding foul called. Who will they get? Maybe Quiros for Muncie Central. And it will be. That's going to be just her second. Red Devils able to come up with a turnover once again, and Mullins will be fouled. 7th turnover of the second half now by Muncie Central. Another change as we'll see Riley Stafford come in now for the Bearcats. And the ball will be taken out on the baseline. 2:41 remaining here in the third quarter. Richmond up by 11. Stevens off the inbound, and then throws it away. Nice anticipation, but not holding on long enough was Deshae Johnson. So the Red Devils will not commit a turnover right there since the possession didn't last long enough. Lauderdale back in. Richards will sit down. Lauderdale will quickly get it to Mullins. Mullins across the timeline. And again, the ball loose, and another turnover by Richmond. Boy, I tell you what, got to take care of the basketball. 8 turnovers in the second half by the Bearcats. Richmond was 6. Richmond now with 21 turnovers. The Bearcats with 28. That is Creech. We'll reverse it now to Stevens. Stevens, little floater in the lane, is off the mark. Rebound, Creech put back, no. And the Bearcats came out with it. Boy, Richmond had 2 gimmies right there and didn't hit either one of them. 11-point lead, just over 2 minutes remaining here in the third. Yeah, use that square part of the backboard. That's why they put it there, huh? Here's a three-pointer, no good, as Peak unable to get it. And out on the run, and then a nice steal by Sloss, and Sloss will take it away from Mullins and score. And the Red Devils with their 7th turnover the second half, the lead down to 9. Right here on the dribble, down the lane, and a whistle and a foul. It'll be a 2-shot foul here for Kyler Wright. .133 remaining. Foul's going to be called on Stafford. That'll be her second. Team foul number 6 now on the Bearcats. And here's Wright at the line. Free throw missed. She will get one more. We will see Ayala Wilson come in, a 5'8" sophomore. Wilson playing for the first time. We'll also see Kelby Stallings come in for the Bearcats. So Stallings briefly in the first half. Second free throw by Wright. And missed them both. So Bearcats basketball chance to cut into that 9-point deficit here in the third quarter with 1:26 remaining. Sloss at the elbow. Here's Johnson. Back to Sloss. Red Devils stay in that 2-3 zone, though they do a nice job disguising it. And apparently they thought they're going to throw that ball to the head coach. But Lisa Blaylock is not eligible. 9 turnovers in the second half. 29 now for Muncie Central. Lob pass intended for Lauderdale goes out of bounds. Well, I don't mind giving, but today's a little silly. Sloss driving and can't get it to go. Creech with a rebound for Richmond. Creech able to bring the ball up the floor herself. They leave her all by herself, and then Creech lost it. Here is Lauderdale picking it up, throwing it up and missing. And Johnson with the rebound for the Bearcats. Sloss across the timeline. This game right now has set the game of basketball back a few years. Here's Sloss from 15. Good. Boy, and Richmond allowing the Bearcats to hang right in there. It's a 7-point lead. Richmond lost a 13-point lead against Logansport. Here is Mullins. They'll find Creech. Creech on the floor. Got away with a push-up. Pull-up jumper short. Long rebound hits the floor. Wilson able to pick it up. 10 seconds remaining. Here's Sloss. Now to Johnson. Back to Sloss. Three-pointer the way. Can't get it to go. The rebound battled for. The last shot, no good. But we have a foul call against Richmond. By the way, again, Richmond playing without Braxton Hurley, one of their more veteran players. Foul's going to be called on Kiera Wright. That's her third, and the free throw good by Deshae Johnson. Johnson now with 7. Back in the ball game for Muncie will be Precious Peak. Second free throw's on the way and good. So the Bearcats, despite trailing big time here in the third, they've now cut it to 38-32. On your Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard, stay right there. Fourth quarter coming up. This is Richmond girls basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
All the amenities you want and the convenience you need. Your next apartment is waiting for you at Chester Heights Apartments in Richmond. Chester Heights Apartments come with 1, 2, or 3 bedrooms with central air, inside laundry, swimming pool, and a new regulation-sized volleyball court. Chester Heights also offers convenient access to IU East, Reed Hospital, shopping, restaurants, and more. Call today for specials. Chester Heights Apartments on Chester Boulevard in Richmond, a proud supporter of all Richmond High School athletics.
Today's game brought to you in part by Jason Wise of Better Homes and Gardens First Realty Group. He has an idea for an alternative fundraiser for your school group or nonprofit. If you list, buy, or refer a customer and mention this promotion, he will donate 10% of what he makes on that transaction to the school group or nonprofit of your choice, and it'll go in your name. Tell your friends, family, or colleagues to mention this offer when listing with Jason Wise at Better Homes and Gardens First Realty Group. You can call him at 969-3400. By the way, no candles or wrapping paper purchase required, which is always good news. But again, thanks to Jason Wise of Better Homes and Gardens First Realty Group. All right, here we go. Final 8 minutes, barring an overtime. Red Devils get the basketball. Again, no Braxton Hurley. Looks like she's probably done for the day. She is now icing that shoulder on the Red Devil bench. Here's Lauderdale. Nice feed to Creech. Bucket good. Nice pass by Lauderdale, and Creech now with 8. We've seen that a couple of times where Creech down the lane And Lauderdale off the drive, able to find her for the easy 2. Bearcats down by 7. Here's Sloss. Works it now to Johnson. Johnson driving. No whistle. A lot of contact. Rebound by Lauderdale. And Creech able to do a nice job underneath as there's a double dribble, by the way, on Mullins as she basically made the Bearcats change their shot at the other end. Red Devils now with 24 turnovers. Boy, they're really going to have to clean this thing up before Tuesday when they go to Rushville. Johnson, skip pass, will find Sloss, and then Sloss turns it over. That's 30 turnovers. Lauderdale back the other way. Quick pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound right. Right feeds underneath to Stevens. Basket good. Heaven Stevens now with 4, and the Red Devils have up that lead once again to 9. Bearcats trailing, and there's an offensive foul underneath. They're going to get Quiros for her 3rd as she was caught pushing against Hannah Creech. And that counts as a turnover because you lose the basketball off the offensive foul. By the way, Michigan is beating Ohio State 17-7. I can't be happier. Turnover again for the Bearcats. And timeout by Richmond. We'll take a timeout as well. 6:38 remaining in the 4th on your Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Richmond up by 9. This is Red Devils
Steve,
basketball at Radio Troy Digital Sports.
A customer came in and said, Steve, this was my 100th oil change on this car, and you've done them all.
Hi, my name is George Farrell, and I've been coming to Jiffy Lube for over 14 years. I recently just had my 100th oil change. I'd like to thank Steve Funkhauser and his staff for the great service that they've provided me over the years. Thank you to all, and I would recommend anyone to come to Jiffy Lube to get their car serviced.
Jiffy Lube, #1 in customer satisfaction for a reason.
You know, I may find myself watching the rest of the Michigan-Ohio State game as we go here, and my Wolverines, yes, my Wolverines, winning 17-7. I will proudly sport my Michigan football shirt later if they win. All right, Red Devils basketball. Creech will find Wright. Tried to go back inside and a lazy pass and another turnover by the Red Devils. Casey and I were talking about that off the air earlier. Why so many players try to throw through another player's hands instead of giving the ball fake? Up, down, down, up. Side to side. Trying to make a player commit one way or the other. The lob pass intended for Quiros. Another turnover, Bearcats. Here's Lauderdale back the other way. Has her shot blocked, and it goes off of Lauderdale and out of bounds. That was Precious Peak again on the blocked shot. Peak only weighs about 100 pounds. He's skinnier than olive oil. And another turnover by the Bearcats. 13 in the second half. Mullins inside to, well, they called the foul. The pass was inside once again to Creech. I thought they were going to get her for a carry, but the foul's going to be called against Precious Peak. That'll be her 3rd, and we're in the bonus now. That'll be team foul number 8, and Creech at the line now for Richmond. 42-33. Bearcats made that run. Free throw is no good in the front end of the 1-and-1. So Creech unable to extend the lead. So the Red Devils still lead it by 9. Precious will now just call her Precious. Pass inside, and Lauderdale comes up with the steal, and another foul called on Elliott. That'll be her 3rd. One of the Muncie Central fans thought that was a horrible call. It was really more of a horrible pass than anything, and we don't look at that part, do we? Yeah. I'd be more concerned about 34 turnovers than I would be they're keeping pace ahead of the point total. By the way, they're going to say it's number 5 on Elliott, so she is done for the day. At the line will be Lauderdale for the Red Devils. And, boy, you got to hit some free throws. If you hit the free throws, you may have extended this lead and put this game out of reach. So now the Bearcats still down by 9. Sloss will throw it up there and get it to go in. She now has 12. And they're just kind of hanging around. Here's Stevens. Stevens wide open. Blocked again by Precious Peak. And a foul will be called on Stevens. That's like going, if you're Stevens and you're listed at 5'6", which is probably pretty generous, it's like going in there against Dikembe Mutombo. Draw the defense, pass it. But as Coach has said before, it's still a learning process for many of these players for Richmond. They have not been on the varsity until this year. Still a 7-point lead, and that'll be a reach call, and that's going to be Kiara Wright picking up her 4th. I keep an eye on Brad Wright up in the stands every once in a while. I know he's probably checking on that Michigan-Ohio State game, but I know once in a while he just kind of shakes his head like, what in the world's going on? I'll have to ask him about that a little bit later. Richmond boys play Jay County later today. Here is Johnson at the line. Johnson 3 of 3 from the free throw line here this afternoon. Now has 9. Back to a 6-point lead, and the second one no good, and we have a lane violation. They got Johnson getting across the line too quickly. So now the ball loose. Mullins in the backcourt. And Richmond turns it over. Here's the steal by Sloss, and Sloss missed the layup at the other end. There is an opportunity to get your team within 5, and you missed it again. We have seen a lot of missed free throws and a lot of missed layups in this one here this afternoon. Back in the ballgame for the Bearcats, in fact, for the first time, will be Ty Janelle Childress. Or is it Tay Janelle? Might be Tay. Free shot is no good from 3 by Precious Peak. Richmond coming out with it. Here's Lauderdale. Lauderdale in the corner to Kyler Wright. 3-pointer the way, no good. And the rebound coming into the ballgame. Childress and automatically gets a rebound. Here is Peak again for 3, no good. Coming out with it for the Red Devils and slowing it up is Kiara Wright. Pass underneath, Kyla Wright, good. Kyla now with 7, and the Red Devils have opened up an 8-point lead, and we're under 4 minutes remaining in this one. Sloss outside once again to Peak. Here's Johnson. Skip past Sloss, goes by the defender, throws it up and got another one. Sloss with 10 in the second half, 14 on the ball game, and the lead down to 6. Here's Lauderdale once again. Will take it right at Precious Peak and lays it in. And then off the inbound, Muncie Central turns it over. So the Bearcats give it right back, and the Red Devils making a couple of changes. They're going to make Heaven Stevens go to that X and now check in. Coming out of the game for the Red Devils will be Madison Herlin. 46-38. Red Devils off the inbound. They lose it again. That is now, we'll check the turnover department here in a moment. Johnson feeds underneath, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Kyla Wright. Red Devils have committed 27 turnovers. The Bearcats have committed 35 turnovers. Way, way too many. And I'm sure most of those that are left listening or watching are saying, thank you, Mr. Obvious. Ball loose inside. Guess what? Another turnover. Richmond gives it right back. Got in too much of a hurry once again, and we've got a timeout by the Bearcats. 2:45 to go in the fourth on the Wesley Bates Wealth Management scoreboard. Red Devils on top, 46-38. This is Richmond girls basketball, Radio Troy Digital Sports.
We'd like you to know why public power is important to you. In small towns and cities across America, locally owned public power systems like ours represent local people working together to meet local needs. Our only purpose is to provide an essential service at the lowest possible cost. This makes a big difference in rates and service, and all the benefits we produce at home stay at home. Richmond Power and Light, your locally owned electric utility. Together, we make powerful partners.
By the way, we have a full crew here today. Bill Goebel, Suzanne Darengowski, along with yours truly. It's only the, maybe second or third time we've had a cast of three. But we have a very, very large company here. We get three, we've actually equaled ESPN. By the way, the New Vision Sports Academy, their Skills Academy is coming up every Wednesday through December 28th from 5 until 8:30. Boys and girls of all ages are welcome. It's only $10. Work on ball handling, passing, shooting, footwork, and defense. For more information, go to newvisionsports.com. That's New Vision Sports with a Z. We still have two games coming up today. The Centerville-Seton game at Earlham College today at 7:30. We'll be back here tonight for the Richmond and Jay County boys game, 7 o'clock pregame. All of it right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports. Almost a travel by Childress. Here's Sloss down the lane. Boy, she's been pretty good at that today as it's shot and missed. And the rebound for the Red Devils back in the ballgame, Zoe Woolridge. Nice pass underneath to Creech. Basket is good, and she's fouled. Boy, nice power move that time by Creech. And just watching her gives you an idea. If she will really work on basketball, she could be pretty good at it. I understand she's a tennis player, but basketball might be it for her. I haven't seen her play tennis yet, but foul's going to be called on Deshae Johnson. And here's Creech at the line. Free throw is no good. Rebound, put back, no, by Kyla Wright. Got it again. How about Wright? Got two offensive rebounds in one possession. Now Richmond with a 10-point lead will spread the floor. The idea, just hold on to it. You do not need to score again. Make them come out and foul you. And this is where the Red Devils need to learn how to play basketball when things are a little bit tight and the other team's coming at you. Can you hold on to it for an extended period of time and make them foul you? Stevens back out to Creech. Smartly gives it once again to Lauderdale, and then Lauderdale will be fouled, and they played it perfectly. 1:46. Not only did you get two offensive rebounds, you ran about another 40 seconds off the clock. Here's Lauderdale. Lauderdale will be there for two. Everything double bonus now for the Red Devils, so they could potentially shoot a lot of free throws here at the end. Now if you make them, you put this game out of reach. Lauderdale now with 15. Coach had mentioned she is starting to play much better, at least shoot better too, which has been a huge key. Offensive rebound, Woolridge inside to Creech, can't get it to go, and then the ball thrown out of bounds. That was Johnson there for the Bearcats, had the rebound, took it away from Creech, and then decided to throw it our way. 1:46 remaining. Red Devils lead it by 11. It has not been pretty, but it's a win. And the Red Devils can waste some more clock right here. They have the possession arrow. Speaking of Richmond, Lauderdale driving and scoring. Nice move by Lauderdale, saw the opening. And the Red Devils now lead at 51-38. Here's Johnson for the Bearcats, lobbing inside, and Creech will pick up the foul. Creech tried to reach underneath of Quiros and knock that one out of bounds. Well, look at this Muncie Central team. Quiros is a freshman. Johnson is a freshman. Wilson a sophomore. Sloss a sophomore. If they stay together in the next 3 years, they'll be pretty good if they continue to work at it. And Quiros, by the way, a lot of room to get bigger. Quiroz with 9. And she is 5'11". And she's got pretty nice touch. Second free throw good. The Red Devils get an extra ball handler in the ball game, so Mullins back in. Woolridge will sit down. And Mullins, one of those players you want to have the ball in her hands. Nobody getting Stevens, who will drive and draw the foul. And Childress will pick up the foul. Again, get the ball up the floor, and that's what Mullins is paid to do. And she got it where she needed to get it, and Stevens will go to the line. Everything, again, 2 shots now for the Red Devils with an 11-point lead here in the fourth quarter. Stevens might be our sub of the game. She has 5 off the bench for the Red Devils. Mullins coming out. They'll get a little more rebounding right here as they'll bring Woolridge back in. Woolridge played pretty well in that JV contest. Second free throw's no good. I don't know why they blew that dead, but now you got to bring it back. Guys down on the scorer's table getting a little anxious with the buzzer. Yeah, we saw an itchy trigger finger earlier here. That's not bad, though, for the first time. 113, 12-point lead. Bearcats have scored 11 over their season average, so they've been able to score. But, again, all those turnovers cost them here today. Sloss, pull-up jumper, good. Sloss continues to play well. And, again, just a sophomore. Boy, get out of that corner. Lauderdale does. Now get out of that corner. Bring the ball back to the middle of the floor. Lauderdale, that's a closely guarded situation. You got to get rid of it, and you stepped out of bounds. Now, those are the unforced errors you can't make, especially if this game is a one-point ball game. You're up by 10, you're okay, but you can make those kind of errors in a close game. 10-point lead, Sloss down the lane, and misses the shot. Rebound Lauderdale, and she takes off with it and gets fouled, and that's a situation there again. Let the defense run by you, and then bring the ball up the floor. There is no hurry now when you're up by 10 and there's only 31.7 seconds remaining. By the way, foul called on Johnson. That will be her 4th. And the free throw good by Lauderdale. Following the game, we'll take a timeout and not only name our Subway sub of the game, but the Wesley Bates Wealth Management player of the game. Second free throw is good. Lauderdale hits them both. And the Red Devils now with a comfortable 12-point lead, down to 27 seconds remaining in this one. Ball tipped in the lane, and another turnover for the Bearcats. And I guarantee they're going to end up with more turnovers than they will points. Unless I'm off on my calculations here. There's 20, 30, 35, 38. They're actually going to score 4 more points. 4 seconds to go. Kyler Wright will find Stevens. No shot, and this one's over. On your Wesley Bates Wealth Management final scoreboard, Richmond 54, Muncie Central 42. Will come back and name again our players of the game and our sub of the game next. This is Richmond Girls Basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Hi, this is Steve Funkhauser, and I was talking to someone the other day about how friendly and professional the crew at Jiffy Lube is, and they said, "You are always so upbeat. I'm going to call you Mr. Positive." And so now I am Mr. Positive. And I want you to know how proud I am of you and that you are doing a great job today. And hey, do something nice for somebody. Make somebody smile. Smiles are contagious, you know. I want you to have a great day and the horse you rode in on. Jiffy Lube. Fast, friendly, professional. I'm Mr. Positive, and I approve this message.
There is one thing for sure in my life. I know nothing about fixing cars. That's why I take my vehicles to Beach Automotive at 110 East Main in Richmond. Their experts have the knowledge to service and repair even the most challenging auto problems. So if you have an automotive question, they have the answers at Beach Automotive, 110 East Main in Richmond. Or give them a call at 765-966-8181 or visit their website,
beach-auto.com. For over 30 years, Reynolds Plumbing has been keeping the Richmond, Wayne County area running. Whether on commercial properties, restaurants, or residential, they've done quality plumbing, heating, and air work for thousands of customers. It's not just about the quality work, it's also about customer service. It's about attention to details and making absolutely sure you are 100% satisfied. If that's the kind of experience you want in your next plumbing or HVAC job, then Reynolds Plumbing has you covered. Give them a call at 966-0994. Back here at the Tiernan Center as the Red Devils win it tonight by a final of 54-42. Richmond with the win. Now 1-2 in the conference, 1-5 overall. They snap an 8-game losing streak. Meanwhile, Muncie Central, they fall to 0-2 in the conference and 1-5 overall. Muncie Central led by Dakoita Sloss, finished with 16. Kiros finished with 10. 9 points by Johnson, 3 by Elliott, and 3 by Peak. But again, they turned the ball over, speaking of the Bearcats, 38 times in this one here this afternoon. For the Red Devils, they are led by Kayliana Lauderdale with 19, Anna Creech with 10, 7 points by Kyla Wright, 6 points by Kelsey Mullins, 5 by Heaven Stevens, 3 points by Braxton Hurley, and 2 by Kristen Richards here this afternoon. The Subway sub of the game, we have named Heaven Stevens as our Subway sub of the game. She finished with 5 points for the Red Devils off the bench. And so, again, Heaven Stevens, the Subway sub of the game. The Wesley Bates Wealth Management player of the game. This is a pretty easy choice. Kiana Lauderdale finished with 19. Lauderdale named the Wesley Bates Wealth Management player of the game. Red Devils will be back in action on the road Tuesday. They travel to Rushville, then back here next Saturday against a pretty good Union City team. But again, Rushville Tuesday night, and we'll be back here later today as the Richmond boys will take on Jay County. We'll be on the air at around 7. Tip-off is at 7:30. And again, we also have the Centerville-Seton game later today as well. That tip-off time from Earlham College is scheduled for 7:30. Final score once again here at the Tiernan Center, Richmond 54 and Muncie Central 42. Thanks for being with us. This has been Richmond Girls Basketball on Radio Troy Digital Sports.